Ms. Helfmann, thank you for your introduction. Ms. Hawken, welcome to Berlin again. Mr. Kannengießer, Mr. Dr. Dreyer, Excellencies, startup entrepreneurs, guests from Africa, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you to our Startup Night Africa tonight. And I'm especially happy that our former minister was still in office last week, is here tonight, so we see that this is really important to her. I would also like to convey to you the greetings of our new minister, Dr. Peter Altmaier. He is currently in the US on a very difficult trade mission. This is already the second Africa Startup Night. The first one was held on the 26th of October 2017 here in this ministry. I was also part of this, and it was a huge success. There were more than 250 guests, and there were 16 startups from Germany and Africa who presented their innovative business models. And many of the startups that took part in this first edition were able to see some concrete cooperation projects come up. For example, there's the startup Techomet from Darmstadt and African startup Lifebank, and they started a joint project. They want to provide blood products to rural areas in Africa. Techomet will provide mobile coolers, and Lifebank will provide a database that shows where blood supplies are available and where they are needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hugely important project for the medical sector, which really makes life easier for people and can help save lives. Same is true for Empty Trips, a South African startup. Empty Trips is a kind of Uber for logistics. It offers a platform that displays and brokers spare capacity on trucks, trains, ships and planes. So make sure that there are no empty trips, which also has a negative impact on the environment. So this is not only interesting for Africa, but also for Germany. Empty Trips is currently talking to established logistics companies about potential partnerships. So these are encouraging examples, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why our former minister, Brigitte Zypries, also decided to take part in this second Startup Night and also to invite to this second Startup Night. And I would like to thank everyone who has been involved in the preparation of this event. I would like to thank our partners as well. The partners with whom we've organized tonight, that is the German African Business Association, that is Lionesses of Africa, and that is also the Association of German Chambers of Commerce, DIHK. All of these organizations see it as their task to build bridges between Africa and Germany. And we really need bridge builders in a world where more and more people are under the misconception that you can hide away behind walls and ignore the problems that exist, or even build up walls. Walls do not work. And I think that Berlin is the best example for this. We need more bridges, not only between continents. We also need bridges between startups and established companies. This is why we established the Startup Nights, and you, Ms. Zypries, were also instrumental in this. So these Startup Nights are a really good way to build these bridges. And we've not only been able to see this at the last Startup Night Africa here in Germany and in Berlin, but we've also been able to see it in concrete cooperation projects or also in sector-specific Startup Nights, for example, Startup Nights about the municipal economy or aerospace or the pharmaceutical companies. When it comes to cooperation between German and African companies, but there's still room for more, because we have to see that trade with Africa only stands at 2%. So I think there's room for more. So we need to realize that Africa is a continent of opportunity, a continent of transformation. And the biggest opportunity of Africa, its many young people, is also its biggest challenge. The share of young people under the age of 15 is 41% in Africa. In Europe, it's only 16%. So you can see that Africa is a young continent. This also means that Africa needs to create around 20 million new jobs in order to provide employment for all of these young people. 20 million jobs per year. That is about half the number of the people employed in Germany. So this really is a big challenge. However, I believe, and not only because I work on the digital agenda, digital technologies are a huge opportunity to set up new companies and to create many new jobs. Last year I was in Tanzania and I also visited Kenya. And you see M-Pesa everywhere. So there are many new digital startups. There are many positive signals showing that the African startup scene will see strong growth in the future. At the first startup night, we've already been able to see this. Venture capital investment in Africa doubled between 2016 and 2017. They are now at around $560 million. There are cities like Lagos, Nairobi, and Cape Town, and they've developed into fast-growing startup hubs. The big players have realized this too. Google and Facebook have established big tech hubs in Nigeria's capital city, Lagos. There are also big German companies such as SAP and Siemens, and they're also active in Africa. In order for African startups to be successful, they need to scale up their business models fast so that they can enter new markets abroad. These are difficult times for world trade, as you all know, and this is why we need to continue to advocate more economic exchange between countries. Whilst others are setting up new barriers to trade, we are convinced that open borders and free trade will lead to new prosperity. And we are very pleased that also in the new coalition agreement, we have decided to expand cooperation with Africa. This also includes expanding our network of German chambers of commerce abroad. Because if there is a strong network of chambers, we can help German companies to find the right contacts on the ground and to also find possibilities for cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to quote Henry Ford. I'll do this in English because it's more authentic.
Together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success. Und das ist gewissermaßen auch für mich das Ziel und das Motto der heutigen
Veranstaltung. And this is also my motto for tonight.
Nutzen Sie die Chance,
this evening is about networking, not only digitally, but also personally. This event is about finding partners for cooperation and be inspired to work together. Tonight, there are 10 unique startups from Germany and Africa that will present their ideas to you tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing these presentations, and I wish you all an interesting evening. Thank you very much for your attention.